Good morning, everybody. Welcome, Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we are out in the garden and we are going to do our first garden tour of 2025. It's cold out, guys. We should have done this probably a month ago, but it has been so cold here and snowy that I just haven't wanted to do it. Today is April 1st, no fooling, it's about 35 degrees, maybe 38 degrees outside. It's pretty cold. I'm looking forward to going around and showing you guys what the garden looks like. If you guys are interested in any of this, stick around so that I can show you what we've got, what might have made it. Who knows? Okay, so before we get started, I just want to welcome all of you to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, for liking, sharing, and commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it. This past month, we celebrated our 3-year podiversary, where we've had our YouTube channel for 3 years. And thank you guys for subscribing and allowing me to last for 3 years and getting people to like and subscribe and follow my channel. For those of you who this might be the very first video that you are catching, I hope you enjoy the content, and if you have not subscribed, consider doing so. It does not cost anything for you to subscribe to a YouTube channel, and it does benefit the YouTubers. So okay, let's get into our garden tour and see what might have lasted over the winter. We had a really tough winter this year. It was really cold, and the Friday after Thanksgiving, we ended up getting, for 4 days in a row, we ended up getting over 4 feet of snow. So my garden took quite a beating because I wasn't expecting that much snow, and I didn't cover anything. And as you guys might have known, my blueberries I put in the ground in September. I planted them into the ground, hoping I could give them a little bit of time in the ground before it got cold. So we'll look and see how well those are doing. Also, being that it's been this cold, I have not got my watering system connected, and I need to do that as well so that I can start collecting the rainwater for watering the garden to get a head start. We're in April, April showers, you know, where it's gonna hopefully keep raining. When we were on vacation, it was warm here, and I didn't do anything. Usually I do it before we end up, before the middle of March, so that I can collect all of the March rainwater. But we had such cold weather that I wasn't sure. I didn't want the barrels to freeze with water in them or freeze going into the barrels. So I didn't do anything with them. So I got to get those hooked up so I can start collecting some rainwater. But let's take you for a garden tour. It's not going to be real long because it is really cold out here, and I don't want to stay out here all that long. So let's get going with that. Hi guys, real quick, I just want to say one thing. If you guys are looking to know about my watering system, I will put the video down below that I talk about my watering system that I have here to water my vegetables with for the summer. So I just wanted to put that in there. If you guys are looking for information on how I did that, I will link that video down below. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is our blueberry plants that we had planted in the fall. Yeah, that was a lot taller. That broke off. Not even sure where it is at this point in time, but that blueberry plant was a lot taller and it broke off. This is the only one that looks like it has life, and as you can see, it is cracked there as well. So I'm not sure. Oh, I have a little bit of life right down here on this. Not sure how much life I have out of this blueberry plant. That's the first one. They didn't do so well being transplanted into the ground. I'm hoping, I'm just going to leave them, trim back a little bit. Not even going to trim this one because there is some green up there. Maybe it'll go through. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. Okay, so the second blueberry plant, again, a lot broke off of it. And there's one big old piece that was broke off the top, but they were quite a bit taller. That one, you can see where it broke off. We do have some buds right there. I'm hoping this one might bloom a little bit. I'm gonna wait to do any trimming on these until we see what is not growing and what is. But this does have a little bit of green and some buds there, as you can see. I'm hoping they will do okay. We will see how well they do this year in the ground over here. I might have to try to grab another blueberry plant. Maybe I can do a whole row of them here along the end and just have a row of blueberries here. We'll see about getting another one. But that's the blueberries. They don't look promising, but we'll see. This is my basil, I believe. Yeah, basil, and it doesn't come back a second year. So I just left the roots in the pots, seeing if it might, but it never does. I'll just clean that pot out and I will get some starters of basil and I'll put them in there. Not that I need a lot of herbs because I have quite a few preserved, but you never know when you're going to need something, so it's always nice to have. Okay, my blackberries. Luckily I was able to get them, well, some of them that were pretty, they weren't super tall, but the snow did break some of them down quite a bit. I was able to get those cut so they weren't so tall. I do have a little bit of growth, a little bit of flowers there. I do not believe these are dead. It's just a little too early for them to start sprouting and doing something. I do need to get the ones that are tipped over cut off, cleaned out. But we do have, oh, there's some green down there, and there's a bud for a flower, so, or for a leaf. So they are alive. They are just going to be probably a little weak this year. Okay, raspberries. Yeah, they look pretty bad, don't they? We do have some new leaves growing. They are alive. We'll see how many are really alive and growing. But yeah. Like I said, this winter was pretty hard and it took quite a beating on everything in the garden. But we do have some new growth, some new sprouts coming in. There's another little baby there starting. One over there. I need to get out here while I still, before they get too much bigger, and clean out all of my weeds. Like I said, it's still been pretty cold and I'm just not wanting to be out here. But I need to make myself come out here and do some work a couple of days. The sun's out right now, but it's still really cold. Okay, so my rhubarb is actually doing okay. I'm not going to pull too much of the leaves around it because it's still pretty cold. I want it to get up a little bit, but I got some good growth on the rhubarb. That goes actually pretty well for me for the season. Yeah, so this seemed to be okay and make it through. Here's another little sprout coming out of another spot here. But just trying to keep it covered up till they actually get out of the ground a little bit then. And it's warmer, then I'll pull the leaves away from it. I haven't done anything into the garden itself. So there is still all of the mulch leaves. But I'm okay with the mulch leaves because they broke down pretty well. This is the only spot over here that's not really broke down all that well. And I might take them and run them through the lawnmower again to see if they break down even more. Or I scrape them off before I put my weed fabric down. But I am going to put the weed fabric down again. It does help to keep everything clear. But yeah, just go ahead and pull the few weeds that I have in here. It's relatively clear of weeds, and that's why I do the grass on here after, leaves and grass on here after I do for the winter, to help hold them down, because it just keeps the weeds from pushing their way through. Some of them still make it, but a lot less to pull up than anything else. The most thing that I have to pull up are trees that start to grow, and they're relatively small. They easily come out of the ground, so I just got to get them done. Okay, so this was my strawberry bed. Strawberries were not doing so well, so I cleaned them all out, dumped a lot of extra dirt in it, and I put my oregano in here. This oregano plant is really old. I've had this oregano plant for probably 10 years. I've transplanted it multiple times. It's doing okay. There's some fresh new in there. I've got to get it cut down quite a bit here and try to see what's going to come as far as new in it. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be doing okay. It's not great. This is my parsley, and it usually does a second year, but I don't think it made it through the winter this year. It looks pretty dead. So I'll have to pull that out and get a parsley plant and put them in, or if I have seeds, sprinkle some seeds in the pots and see what I get out of it. This bed here, instead of doing strawberries, is going to be my herb bed, I think. I would like that to be my herb bed. I don't do a lot of herbs, but if I could have them in the ground instead of in pots, would be a little bit easier. But yeah, guys, that's about it. That's all we have left in the garden. There really isn't much to do other than to just start getting everything. Of course, it's, we store everything in here for the winter because it's a fenced-in area. And my husband's got his ladders in here. We just needed to get them out of the yard. So just getting all that cleaned up, got to get my water barrels put together so that I have them ready to go. But yeah, other than that, that is it for the garden tour. Like I said, it's pretty cold out here. Gonna go get my hands warm. But yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoyed. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. I'm sure it was not as long as I would have liked it to be, but there's not a lot in the garden right now, and we didn't really have to look at a lot of stuff, but seeing how bad some of the stuff is, I'm not sure I'm going to have much growth for all of my fruits and vegetables. Well, my fruits that I had that are in the ground, the plants in the ground, and all the herbs that I have, they don't look all that well. So hopefully we can get them to produce something this year. If not, we'll start over with some of the stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It does benefit me greatly by you subscribing to my channel. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.